if you need to make an extra 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is, that is one of the easiest, fastest ways to generate cash flow for your business.
A very good point that I don't hear many people make. I'm very glad Alex Hormozi made that point. So Alex Hormozi has this video on how to make loads of money in the service businesses, but it's a few years old now. And as someone actually running service businesses today in 2026, I want to see, does this information still hold up, or is it just outdated internet advice? I'm going to react to it, break down what's real. Let's get into it.
Show you in this video one of the fastest ways to make a tremendous amount of money in a service business. All right, so right now, if you own a service business or any kind of business where you provide stuff to customers, if you sell stuff, then this video is for you. Just so if you don't know me, my name's Alex Hormozi. I own acquisition.com. We do about $85 million a year in revenue, and this channel is just because a lot of people are broke and I don't want you to be one of them. All right, so I was thinking about the different businesses that we have. We have a publishing business, we have a photography business, which is a chain of brick and mortar. Somebody asked me in one of the comments that,
now, just to preface this, I actually do like Alex Hormozi. I think he has a lot of good information. I don't listen to him too often. I know he did make a lot of money in the gym industry, but once again, he does have a large following, so he does tend to say some things that are for virality. So he says things so that the clips will go viral. So this video is a bit older, so I am definitely interested to hear what he has to say and how it actually relates to the service business, and if this information is going to help people like you guys or whoever else is watching these videos start a business and make money in that business.
To name them out. I don't tell you the actual names of these because part of the deal structure that we have with a lot of these are influencer based or personality driven brands. And so I don't want it to be like, oh, you're just one of Alex's businesses. All right, so just to be clear for everybody, the reason I don't do that, I'll tell you the ones that I own 100% of, but the ones where I'm a minority partner in, I don't tell you what they are. I'll tell you what categories they're in. So like I said, we've got a publishing business, which is a digital business. We have a brick and mortar chain photography studios. We have a certification business. We also have an online. It's a similar business but online for trainers. We have our gym licensing business, which is Gym Launch. We have our supplement business, which is Prestige Labs. And then we have Allen, which is our software company for agency owners that helps brick and mortar agencies work leads. All right, so just so you're curious, that's what we do, and we're looking at getting some others. Anyways, one of the things that I was thinking.
Just to start, I am a little worried. I didn't hear any like manual labor type service businesses, which are typically the easiest to start, and you can make a lot of money in them. But these are good service businesses. I mean, some of them are online, then you have the gym ones. I think some of these are kind of difficult to start and you have to have a good skill set as opposed to some other service businesses you can start, like car detailing, where you can make a lot of money and it's very easy to learn, quick to learn. You could start quickly, but I guess we'll see what information he has. Maybe his tips and what he's going to go in this video will work towards all the service businesses, not just the ones he's talking about.
Thinking about within our businesses is like, what are the different categories? And this was kind of a spin-off of the recurring video that I made about cracking Netflix's code, right? Is what are the different types of products that we can sell? And I'll show you one of these that's incredibly valuable that if you're ever pressed for cash, is the easiest thing that you can sell for a ton of money. First, I was like, you've got products, right? You've got widgets, you've got stuff, all right? That's the first category. The second category, let me see if I can draw some nice lines here. The second category is you've got services, right? Where people do stuff, right? For other people. And the third, and this is the one that a lot of people miss out on, is access, all right? So I'm gonna go through all three of these in a second. All right, so products, everyone should kind of understand what these are, right? You get these in the mail, and they can also be digital goods. So here's an A-B version of each of these, right? So you've got physical, and then you've got digital. So you've got physical product would be getting, supplements in the mail. A digital product would be buying Netflix, buying a Netflix subscription, right? That's where you're consuming a digital good. When you buy media, that is a digital good, right? You're buying eyeballs, right? If you're buying,
obviously, I agree with this. There's many different products and businesses to be had. I thought he was focusing more on the service businesses. Maybe he's going to, but as the title of the video says, is how to make buckets of money in the service businesses. But I guess we will see. Because product businesses, service businesses, and access all have very different ways of marketing and promoting themselves.
Buying physical services, that would be like buying a massage. You've got digital services, which would be like a marketing agency, right? It would be a digital service, right? They're not actually buying. You're not buying something that's going to happen in the real world. You're buying something that's happening in the digital sphere, right? Third is access, where you've got physical access, which would be like concert tickets, right? You have access like to someone or to an experience of some sort. And then you've got digital access, right? Which would be you buy access either to like a virtual event, or you have access to me via Slack or something like that, right? That would be digital access, all right? And so when you're thinking about your products and services, right, one of the easiest things to do to make it more valuable is think, how can I add, if you have, let's say, products, how can I add some sort of service component to it to make this more valuable? And we do this so that we cannot be a commodity, right? The goal is to be so different from everyone else in the marketplace that people have to consider you on their own as your own standalone business so that you can have monopoly prices, all right? Despite what the government will tell you in antitrust laws, the goal is...
I do like what he's saying about, if you're a service business, eventually having a product to offer, or vice versa. So as an example, I like to use car detailing in a lot of my examples because car detailing is the type of business that you can start with very little skill, and you can start it quick for very cheap. So the nice thing about car detailing is for $1,000, you can get all the equipment you need. You can go on Facebook, do marketing, Facebook groups, and you can make your money back in the first week if you're working hard. You can learn everything you need to know about car detailing on YouTube. You can learn within less than 10 hours, watch videos, learn what you need to do. Well, I actually know a car detailing company that not only offers car detailing, but has grown to the point where they have their own products that they offer. So when they go to somebody's house to go clean their car, they offer to sell them additional add-ons like clean your own car products. That person can then maintain their own car until it gets super dirty and needs to be cleaned again. Certain wipes that they can keep in the car and clean it. Certain trash bags they can keep in the car so the car stays clean for longer. Air fresheners. So that's always a great way. And then vice versa, in car detailing, the company Chemical Guys, they offer detailing services, same as like a car wash. A car wash has, that's kind of like one service offering a different service. A car wash is a standalone location where people come to get their car cleaned. But a lot of car washes also offer detailing services where the reps will come out or the workers will come out and clean your car at your house. So once you start growing a business, it's nice to branch out and do different things that relate to your business. That would be where you could target the same customer and then resell the same customer different products or different services. So I do think that is a good way to make extra money once you already have a business that's growing.
Monopoly. Like, you win the game by being a monopoly, by being so good that no one else can compete with you, right? And now, because those companies have so much power, they own the government now. Anyway, not getting into that. That's not the point. But the point is that you can pair these concepts. So most people just consider themselves, I am just a physical products business. It's like, okay, well, can we add some sort of digital products, right, to our physical products to enhance the value and differentiate ourselves? If I have a service, I have a physical service, maybe I can add some sort of digital component to it. Or maybe I can add some physical products that go with it, or digital products, right, that go with it. Or, thirdly, is there a way that I can add access, which is probably one of my favorite of the types of businesses, and here's why. This one has almost 100% margins, right? Digital access is almost 100% margins. Same thing with digital products, almost have 100% margins, right? Digital services, less so. So services, just so you're wondering why so many service businesses have a hard time scaling, is it's very hard to scale people. It's also hard to scale things that have hard costs, right? And scaling people, you have to scale culture, you have to scale training, you have to scale onboarding. There's a lot of things that have to scale for scaling services, which is why most people don't like buying those types of businesses. Which is why, and I'm making this video right now, if you want to increase your enterprise value, it's trying to figure out how you can add multiple of these things. So I just gave you 6 different categories here.
I'm going to touch on this point very quickly, but that is a very good point that I don't hear many people make. I'm very glad Alex Hormozi made that point. It is very hard to scale service businesses once you get to the point of needing, more than 6 to 10 workers, and then obviously even more and more, like 50 workers. You have to have insurance for all of them. You have to have managers for all those workers. So scaling a service business does get pretty difficult. I would say a service business is the quickest way to make money. Sorry, I keep talking. So scaling a service business is the quickest way to start making money, if you don't have a lot. But eventually it does get hard to scale the service business. If you want to make, $100,000 to $250,000 profit, so $100,000 to $250,000 a year, I would say do a service business right away, especially if you need more income as soon as possible. So a service business will take you, you can most likely get to that $150,000 a year mark within your first 2 years if you're working hard and you're following the proper advice. But once you get to that $250,000, it gets very hard to scale. If you're looking to get to $1 million in profit a year, it's going to be very hard to do with the service business. So service business is very good, quick scaling, digital products and digital access, very good if you want to scale, very large past that $500,000, $1 million mark per year profit.
Right? Of different types of things that you can have in your business. I know that the sun is making me, I'm dodging the sun here, right? I'm a sun chaser. Right now, when you're thinking about how you can add more value, right? And I'll tell you the hack right now. All right, so you guys ready for this? In terms of if you needed to make money, the way that you do this, all right, this is my favorite one that you can use, which is access. All right, I'm gonna put this in big, is that you sell a more individualized, higher touch version of your own solution, all right? And so what that means is you can say, hey, I can only take 5 people for a one-on-one, right? Or a small group, right? Experience for 1 year for this big outcome that they're all gonna want. And I'll guarantee that you'll get it, or I'll keep working with you for free until you do. Which means when you buy this thing and when you give me this money right now, it means that you've solved this problem. You can put this money down, and it means that that outcome is going to happen. I'm going to try and get it to happen in 12 months because I don't want to keep working for free, but you know that I will continue to work with you until you achieve it. All right? So right now, if you have a client base and you're like, man, I'm strapped for cash, and the only way that they can do this is if they prepay the entire period of time. All right? And so the thing is you don't need to have any kind of discount for an offer that's structured like this. The reason that they're getting a lot of value is because they're getting access, right? They're getting access in addition to a service. All right, and they're getting some level of expertise on top of it. All right, and so right now, if you need to make an extra 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is that you have, depending on the size of your business, that is one of the easiest, fastest ways to generate cash flow for your business and use up some of the audience while still maintaining good pent-up demand. All right, what I mean by that is that if you sell 100 of these, or you sell out, in terms of like you sell out all the demand that's there, you running something else in the future will bomb, right? And so the idea is if you know that you could sell 20 people, sell 5. If you know you could sell 100 people, sell 20, right? Try and maintain the vast majority, 80% of the demand still there, and have it pent up so that when you do another offer like this in the future, you'll sell out again. And the idea is that as you grow, the number of people that you will have in that demand pool will continue to increase. And so you will always be able to sell out, but the number of total slots will continue to increase. Whereas most people always go for the biggest ask they possibly can, try and sell out and liquidate all the goodwill they have in their audience all the time, which means they're always searching for building up the next demand, which is why they're always poor, because it's very hard to do that.
So I do like this point. The only thing is, I feel like we're 7 minutes into an 8-minute video, and he hasn't touched much on how to make buckets of money in the service businesses. At least I thought this video was going to be a little bit more on how to make money in your service business. It seems to be he's telling you how to make money if you run a digital service or you run a digital product and then turning that into an access feature. As far as this access goes, when it comes to majority of service businesses that are like manual labor, the ones that are the most common, car detailing, painting, power washing, window cleaning, roofing, all of these are going to be quite difficult to sell access. Actually, almost any business is hard to sell access if you don't have like a social media following, because you have to market it somehow to people that have no idea who you are. But overall, it's going to be even harder if you run a service businesses to try to, have some deal where they have access to do something or learn something. It is very difficult to sell that. Can it be done? Yes. Is it a very good way to make money if you do it right? Yes, because your profit margins are almost 100%. Depending if you're the one doing it, then you have to spend your time. But if you can hire that out, then that's your only cost. So overall, good advice, not very good advice for the people that would be listening to, this video. I would expect people that are trying to get information on how to start a service business or how to grow their service business or how to make more money in their service business. Overall, I don't feel like he's touched on that very well.
All right, and it's much easier to maintain goodwill and multiply it and then feed and then just skim a tiny amount off the top and then grow the goodwill of the base to go from 100 people in your base who want to buy the thing to 200 people in the base, and the next time you go from 20 to 40 rather than going from 20 to 200, right? Because you could do it, but then after that you're done. Nothing. You got to start from scratch again. And so it's much better to always keep some goodwill kept up. And one of my favorite ways to liquidate that in a very controlled burn manner is to have access so you can have implied urgency and implied scarcity with a very, very high ticket premium. And you'll probably get some of the best customers to do this with you. They'll be the least needy, believe it or not. And you'll get some great testimonials and great outcomes as a result of it. So,
all right, to wrap this video up, I think Alex Hormozi definitely gives good information. He's a very smart guy. He's definitely been very successful. He knows what he's talking about. But once again, like most people, they tend to talk to the outliers. They tend to talk to the people already making money, or they tend to talk to the people that don't have a business and are thinking that they want to make this this vast amount of money, and they need to go listen to these videos on how to make millions of dollars. But they're not in the position to where they can do the things these videos ask of you to do, which is very common with all these people that I listen to and all these people I see. They're all selling you the idea of how to get rich and how to do this, but you need to do all these steps before that nobody's telling you for some reason. At least all the people that are mainstream, they're not teaching you or telling you all the fundamentals and the basics of how to get to the point where you can, take the steps that they're giving you and to actually go and turn your money into more money and make big profits. But yeah, overall, Alex Hormozi is a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about, but they're not helping the guys that need the most help. So stay tuned, watch this channel, keep watching. Stay tuned for the next video. We're gonna break down some more videos exposing what these people are telling you guys. So yeah. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, guys. You have a good rest of your day, and go out there and make some money.